Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of One Question, One Answer. We are in our second to last week before the summer finale, so enough messing around this summer. We've talked about cargo shorts and wellness and Pokemon Go, all very serious topics. But there are things going on around us in the marketing industry that matter. And Will, who has joined us before and talked to us about some of the digital trends he's seen as our digital marketing manager, sends out a weekly email or a daily email, I guess at this point.
It's every day I'm in the office.
Every day you're in the office about what's going on in the world of marketing from his perspective. So I thought it would be a good idea to let him kind of talk through kind of lightning round style of some of the things he's seen, combining some of the emails he sent to the agency about that. So we're going to run through a couple of those if that's okay.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, so you've actually sent two on what's going on with Instagram.
Yes.
But I picked Instagram stories because you and I have talked a lot about Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
And what we like and what we don't like. And so what's Instagram doing with Instagram stories?
It's essentially, what's the best way to do it? It's copying Snapchat's feature. It's stealing their thunder, so to speak.
Yeah.
Whereby it's messages that you put out there that go away within 24 hours. You can edit them very similar to Snapchat. It has a very Snapchat feel, except it's on Instagram.
And Instagram's a much more popular channel for this, do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, as far as users go, engaged users who use it on a regular basis, Instagram has twice as many engaged users as Snapchat. It has like 5 times as many people signed up with it. But as far as engaged users, twice as much.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people on Instagram who aren't even on Snapchat. So any one of those people who has not been converted by this point, now what's the point of them even converting? They're like, I can just do it on Instagram anyway. I have no desire to go over to Snapchat. It's not providing me any more value. So unless Snapchat does something different to change it, and there's nothing that Instagram can't copy at this point.
Well, that was going to be my question, and it's a hard one. So, and I don't know, you may not have an answer, and you don't know that I'm going to ask this, but what's Snapchat's next move? Do they have a next move?
I think continuing to promote to their target audience.
Yeah.
It's a younger demographic, and continuing to get more of those people on board, and the people who aren't even necessarily signed up with Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be their play.
Okay.
I don't think you can, probably smarter people than me in Snapchat, who can probably go after that, but I just don't see why people on Instagram now would move over to Snapchat.
Right. So
I wouldn't even try to go after that. That, in my opinion, wouldn't be the smart move. It'd be to continue to play in that niche that they're good at.
Okay. Well, one of the other things that you've been tracking, that I've been tracking as well, and we've talked about this a little bit, I think you even talked about it in Big Trends to Watch for in 2016, is virtual reality. And you sent out a couple of good examples, and I think that we're starting to see how virtual reality can become a real tactic. It may not be attainable just yet in terms of budget, but seeing that there are practical applications for this, where things that are intangible or are hard to see, it's a way to bring them to life, or where maybe you can't get there to see it, it's a way to put that right in your purview. So what's going on with virtual reality? What are you seeing? Well,
I like to just first of all normally, especially when we're talking to clients, explain the difference between the two, because augmented reality and virtual reality are getting kind of the same.
They are,
kind of the same thing. They're very different.
Yes. Augmented reality exists for Pokemon Go.
Yes. It's anything where it alters the reality of. It makes sense. Alters your reality. So something within your phone, you put your phone up and something pops up within like your camera view, something within your reality.
Sure.
Virtual reality, if you think about it, is kind of like Lawnmower Man, where you actually go into it.
Nice reference. That's good.
And Lawnmower Man too. Where you actually go into it and are immersed in a new world and everything around you. So that would be that's kind of a little bit different. So those are two different marketing ploys. So virtual reality is being used in a lot of Home Depot's using it, Lowe's is using it in order so you can go into a virtual world and actually pick out your type of furniture. And they're also using an augmented reality where you can actually go up and take pictures of or video of your own house and put furniture or stuff within it. So you can scan around. IKEA is doing that as well. So here's the interesting thing. I was asked recently by one of our by a coworker to find results on these sort of things. Like, how is it working? What are the results on it? And I really can't find very many case studies on the success of virtual reality or augmented reality outside of Pokemon Go and its 20 billion users.
Right.
As far as like revenue to companies, it's really kind of tough. I think it's because it's new.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing a lot of business cases yet where it's working. I'm seeing a lot of downloads. I'm seeing a lot of engagement, but tying it to revenue, I think it's almost too new.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And it also means you shouldn't just jump on the bandwagon because you saw Pokemon do it.
Right.
It's a very expensive technology right now. It's getting cheaper and cheaper and more attainable. But did I answer your question at all?
It did. No, you did. It was good. And as we learned in the Pokemon Go session, they had actually talked about doing this for 3 years prior to releasing it. So it is something that you can't just say, I want to do that. We have to do that application, which is really anything in marketing we have to think through. Something that might be a little bit more attainable, though, in terms of how brands are interacting with us or how we're interacting with brands, is something we featured in last year's Smart Summit, which is beacons.
Yeah.
And that is just, I thought something like, it's a niche, but I don't know if it's going to stay a niche. It seems to be becoming a lot more widely adopted very quickly. So what do you think? What are you seeing with beacons?
Beacons have endless possibility. I think right now the most practical applications is in retail stores, where when somebody comes into your store and you're getting analytics now on in-store behavior. How long is somebody staying in store? You get really specific, where are they going within your store? So it's kind of like Google Analytics, but for in-person, to see where you're going within the store. And then the other application is, I'm liking if you have like an app for that store and they know you're in your store, you can then do push notifications to your phone and get a real-time coupon, a real-time deal that you can go use. And I'm seeing, the regular a push notification on your phone is open like 14% of the time. And with beacons, when you're in the store, it gets opened over 50% of the time.
Wow.
So that's where you see a benefit of serving somebody up a real-time coupon.
Yeah.
And actually, that's where it's being used in stadiums. I've written that it's being used in, it's like all but 2 NFL stadiums. I'm guessing Cleveland Browns probably ones that doesn't have it. They're serving up coupons.
Go Steelers.
And deals for vendors.
Yeah.
I think they're seeing a lot of success with that because everyone knows that kind of stuff's really expensive. But if you get a real-time serve up, buy one get one free on pizza or beer, something like that.
Yeah.
People are going to go use it, I think, a lot more. So that's where I see it working right now.
Right.
In the future, can this be tied to somebody who opened up an email and then within a couple of days came into our store? So you can now attribute, online to in the store.
Sure.
And that's the goal of retail. Having worked in retail for a few years, that's what we want to see. We want to tie those email campaigns, our website traffic, to our in-store visits.
Yeah. So going from virtual reality and something that's hard to measure to beacons, which is a lot easier to measure, a lot straighter line to measure it. And you mentioned about in-store, we know the majority of decisions are made at shelf. As much as people think they know ahead of time, if you want to buy cargo shorts, you're going to buy cargo shorts. But if you want to buy shorts, or maybe even pants, and you go in and you're not sure yet, and then you see those really sharp looking cargo shorts, you make the decision right there to buy them. And beacons can help with that.
It can.
Yes, and that's not just another ploy to say cargo shorts are not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, like when I go in to get a shirt, I don't really care what shirt I'm going in to get. And if somebody serves me up a deal, I'm probably going to pick that shirt.
That's right.
So there's a lot of opportunity there.
That's right. So last but not least, and this is we'll be as quick with this as apparently the company was with the announcement about this, is that Blab, and Blab is no more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if a lot of people knew about it, which you said in your email. It's like, I don't even know if people heard about this, but in case you do, it's gone. What's the deal?
Yeah, within our world, people had heard of it because we have to hear of it. But, live video streaming, similar to Periscope, Facebook Live.
No Meerkat?
No. Well, Meerkat too. That's a good one. I was
just
used to.
Pour one out for Meerkat.
And they had quite a big user base, and a lot of people are actually starting to create marketing campaigns within it. And out of nowhere, it just shut down. It gave no pre-warning that they were going to do it. They just shut down. And anyone who had a marketing campaign, anyone who had videos, had content hosted on there, they just lost it.
Gone.
They lost all of it. So the real story here for me isn't so much that happened.
Yeah.
It's that you need to be aware that this can happen.
Yeah.
Everyone who loves to, I do it myself. I publish on LinkedIn, or people who publish a lot on Facebook, Twitter, any new features that those companies roll out.
Yeah.
Like LinkedIn right now is launching a video service, which only right now is open to influencers, but now I have cord within the medium of LinkedIn. that's great. Try it out, do it, but understand that at any time they can just pull that from you. They
Yeah.
can pull your content and you can lose it. So, Joe Polizzi at Content Marketing Institute always says, don't build your house on rented land,
Right.
which is terminal
Right.
love. So try and own it.
Right.
That's why we tell our clients, if you have like a blog, if you have a content hub, host that on your site. By all means, throw it other places, repurpose it, but make sure you have a hub where you host it yourself and you own that platform because you can control that. You can't control what all these other companies are going to do.
That's right. No, great input, and Will continues to share this on a daily basis. So I think this format seemed to work. We may come back and talk about next quarter, maybe some other things we're seeing. So this is good. Thanks for the rundown. For everybody else, hopefully this was helpful. That was a quick look at things that are going on in our world, specifically the digital world. So until next week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week in the summer finale.